When exploring genres in games, it's hard to capture everything perfectly without it making it feel like a video game and more like a world. Now, Uncharted 2 managed to do this perfectly with the action-adventure genre, but when it comes to westerns, it's pretty obvious that there's only one game that captured the Wild West perfectly. Yes, I am, of course, talking about Rockstar Games' March 2010 release, Red Dead Redemption! Sorry. The Wild West, one of the most unique genres on gaming systems, and Red Dead Redemption captures it greatly. The sequel to Red Dead Revolver on the PS2, this is another great take on sandbox gaming by Rockstar, the kings of the GTA franchise. And while there are many similarities in GTA and Red Dead Redemption, you find that they are very different in terms of atmosphere and environment. Make no mistake though, the moment you take control of John Marston and travel across the plains of the West, you will be in awe at the attention to detail in every aspect of this game. It's so immersive, it'll even make you start talking in a cowboy accent. So here we go. Red Dead Redemption's story is absolutely brilliant. For a game, it has an almost Oscar movie quality to it. It borrows from such modern Western classics such as Unforgiven, The Assassination of Jesse James, and The Proposition, and you take up the role of John Marston, an ex-outlaw who's out to redeem himself by hunting down his old gang member, Bill Williamson. Now, it's a story that will take you from sandy saloons to rebellious Mexico to foresty mountains, and it has many strong themes in its story, so it's obvious that this game wasn't made for little kids. But as great as the story is, it's only about 50% of the game. Now, you'll have open ranges to explore, animals to hunt, treasures to find, and a great bunch of stranger missions to complete, which help you delve further into the atmosphere of the game.
Hey, my friends. I'm pleased to meet you, Jake.
You couldn't ask for a better looking Western nor sandbox game. Rockstar Games have gone through this game with a fine-tooth comb and left nothing looking anything like a video game. Now, trees move in the wind, plants move when you run into them, all the characters have their own swagger, shoots on and it'll leave a gaping bloody hole. I mean, it's certainly raised the bar for detail. Characters look polished, and you can see Marston's sunburnt skin and complexion. Emotions and lip syncing are easy to read, and it's a good feature to be able to choose from different outfits. Perhaps the greatest graphical display in this game is the West itself. Far away in the mountains and ranges, they aren't just pretty looking backdrops, you can actually go there. And when it rains, puddles and thunder sounds, and it really changes everything. During the day is really bright and it feels like heat on your character. Dusk and sunsets are unbelievably beautiful, and it's no wonder that I often just stop in this game just to take in the sights. This is all perfectly backed up by a great Western soundtrack, full of resonant electric guitar tunes or an upbeat bass beat when you're being hunted or attacked. Voice acting is way above par. You'll hear wind brush by your side and all kind of different environment noises. I mean, the sound is really triumphant in creating this wonderful Western atmosphere. As well as shooting a whole lot of bad guys in an over-the-shoulder perspective in this game, Red Dead does a great job of offering a fresh new mission every time the chapter in the story advances. You'll be riding in posses, lassoing criminals, herding cattle, and even having quick draws with cocky cowboys. Horse riding is a big part of the game, and naturally you become very fond of your own horse. It's a little difficult to control at first by tapping and holding one button, but you'll soon find that it's actually very useful. The farming missions were some of my very favourite, but I love this game. It just didn't feel like it revolves around you. Sometimes it just feels like there are a lot of different things going on. So you can go and find strange hideouts, or see lawmen chasing criminals, or helpless women who need help, or just, I don't know, people wanting to challenge you. This world is just so abundant in things to do apart from the mission, and it's not repetitive as there's many different problems you encounter. Mini games like poker, blackjack and liar's dice have all been done extremely well. They're even a little addictive. Saving is done through sleeping in beds, or if you have a campsite in your knapsack, you can save anywhere in the game. Combat is a joy as you duck and cover around objects and horses, and the Deadeye function allows you to slow down time and pinpoint shots on your enemies. The auto aim in this game can make things a little easy, but it's just a great bunch of weapons available. The hand-to-hand fighting system is a little disappointing. I put it all together and you just say, Rockstar Games, you've outdone yourself.
Look at that. You want to risk it?
Damn, these sandbox games are hard to analyse, and this just happens to be the hardest to factor everything in. From the brilliant start to the astonishing ending, Red Dead Redemption is a masterpiece in gaming. For me, it explores the Western genre better than any book or film ever has, and I haven't even touched the awesome multiplayer mode. Sure, there's a botched fighting system, and sometimes the animals can seem a bit too abundant at times, but it's easily one of the greatest games ever, and a serious contender for Game of the Year 2010.
You do so love to talk in riddles, Mr. Marsden.